Hey guys, Flawkes here, and this is my compilation of my Magress attempts, where I try to do Magress level 3 on full auto, starting from turn 1 right away, no items, no nothing. Yeah, I mean at this point, I'll be honest, I just never finished it. I've tried probably, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 times, and I don't know, I didn't get very far. I have, I think 5 to 6 clips. In this video I've got 3. Just to show you the ones that I got relatively close with, like that kinda worked. Yeah, I mean, okay, let's look at this first one. First team was kinda wonky. I had my damage mitigation with Darvanchel. He was also my leader, so I didn't have to worry about statuses. The first stage of level 3 has a lot of statuses. They inflict poison and weakness off the bat, and then like 2 of the units can curse, something like that. Yeah. Unfortunately, I lost those friends all night in stage 1, which is honestly the toughest part. If you can get past stage 1, you're probably good for stage 2, and then stage 3 is another story, which is I'll talk about that later. So I had my Darvanchel lead and Zell Knight lead. Sorry. One's Darvanchel obviously for the damage mitigation and for his leader skill that negates statuses, and then Zell Knight Friend just for more Brave Crystal and Health Crystal generation. Actually, Health Crystal here is important because I don't have a healer. I can't afford a healer because healers will not last through stage 1, mainly because they don't generate enough Brave Crystals. I can't find a healer that generates a decent amount. A suggestion was Tia. I definitely considered Tia, but unfortunately I don't have a good Tia. I literally have like 3 Oracle Tias. I haven't maxed her. I haven't touched any of them. I'm waiting until I pull at least like something better. A Guardian, a Lord, or even an Anima. I'm not gonna touch an Oracle. Because I'm just gonna have to remax it later when I pull something else. But, yeah. So this team that I talked about, most of them are built for sustain. I made sure that everybody had above 8,000 HP. So I would slap on leg wands on my Kuda. I think I had leg wand on Elza here. My second Elza. My first Elza is sphered with Izer's Guide, or Izhere's Guide, I don't know how to pronounce it, and Lexida. So she's generating a lot of Brave Crystals. She's potentially generating 60 Brave Crystals per attack. So that's pretty massive. For normal attack. So yeah, here you see me dropping Magress down to just above 50% HP, so I'm probably like, I don't know, 52%, 52%. So that didn't go so well. Unfortunately, my friend Zell Knight died early on. But then even so, I don't think it would have changed anything. Just because, yeah, I mean, I didn't get too far on Magress. You have to remember that Magress revives with after you drop him below 70% HP. He buffs himself with a revive buff, the angelic buff or whatever it's called. So he revives himself with 55,000 HP, so that's still quite a bit to chunk him away. So after you deplete his HP, it's not over yet. But, here's my second attempt with the same team. I had to rearrange my team, but then I realized when you're auto battling like this, order doesn't matter too much. Slightly. Elza died on turn 1, very unfortunate. But like I said, turn 1 and 2 of stage 1 is like the hardest. Like that is the biggest hurdle for me. You have to. There's a lot of teams that you can probably suggest a lot of different teams. Like you suggest like Lily Mama lead, Narza lead, or like you know using healers or whatever. Sure, those are always good suggestions, but you have to remember this challenge is difficult because of stage 1. If you can't get past stage 1, why even bother, right? So I've tried a lot of different combinations. None of them work except for these. Like these were the ones that actually got relatively close. They got past stage 1, stage 2 no problem. Maybe losing 1 or 2 units, and then stage 3 was just what the hell, Magress? Not fair. So yeah, this is the same team. We can briefly go over the order. The reason why I put my leader on the bottom right is when you have your leader on the bottom right corner, if everyone is at full HP, there's this weird hash. I'm assuming it's like a hash thing where they check based on HP, and that's how they use turn orders. So if you have your leader on the bottom right, most likely the next unit to use, assuming everyone's at full HP, is the bottom left unit, and then the top right unit, and then either the last 3 is random, I think. So in this case, if everyone's at full HP, I think most likely, like 90% of the time, your leader's gonna pop. So in this case, it can be Darvanshel, Kuda, and then my top right Elza. That's the almost guaranteed 3 order, like the order of the first 3 that will activate, or that will auto battle first. So this is a good thing to keep in mind if you want to build an auto battle team for regular questing. Your leader will always go first, regardless. And then if you're depending on your leader's position, in this case bottom right, then your bottom left would go, and then your top right will go, in that order. So I mean, maybe that's a handy tip for some of you guys who didn't know that. I don't know if you guys did or did not. I've figured it out from just auto battling a lot, and I watch my auto battles, or I used to. You know, because when you're in class, what's there to do? You don't listen. That's just, who does that, right? Who listens in class? So yeah, here I decided to try and swap out for an Altor. And on Altor, I think I put a Soul Creator and a... I'm really gonna go back on the footage. I don't remember what I put on him. You guys can go back and pause on it. What I really want to do with him, though, I think it's Providence Ring actually, and Soul Creator. I need to generate more Birth Crystals because I am replacing a Zelnite in this case, or sorry, I replaced one of my own Elzas. I'm using a friend Elza here, mostly because I need more Birth Crystals. Birth Crystal is a huge deal when you're auto battling here. You need to get past the hump of the first stage. If you can generate enough Birth Crystals to get SBB on first stage on Darvanshel, you're good to go. You're pretty much done stage 1. Unfortunately, that's a pretty hard feat. That's a pretty tough task. So, yeah. Everyone's geared relatively similarly here. I don't think there's anything special. I guess I haven't gone over it. Darvanshel is using Magic Ore, which every turn generates 4 Birth Crystals for him, and Dandelga. So, increase to attack and HP and generates Birth Crystals for himself. My reasoning behind Altor here is because I know this team could get to stage 3, which is the stage I'm at this point at least that I'm stuck on. So I was hoping that Altor could tank Magress' hits, because I can't have him killing Darvanshel or even Kuda actually, or Zelnite, because those are like key units. Kuda for the buffs, because he's a dual buffer, buffs crit and attack, and that's pretty huge for taking Magress down. And Darvanshel obviously because of damage mitigation. If you lose that, you're pretty much done. So I mean, Altor kind of worked. Like, see, he tanked all the single hits. That could have been like, I could have lost a unit there. Like, I don't know, any of the units. See there, Kuda only tanked 2 shots and died. So the fact that Altor tanked like 3-4 hits there, saved a unit from, I guess it stalled the inevitable loss though. I don't clear it with this team, but yeah. Altor's BB and SBB has Taunt. He's a unique unit, and the fact that he's the only unit at the moment in the game with Taunt ability, it's a self buff where all the single target attacks, including BBs, from the enemies will always hit Altor instead of any other unit. And Altor's SBB, he buffs himself with a defense buff and casts Taunt. So yeah, Taunt only lasts for 1 turn, so there's that. But yeah, here this is part 1 of my attempts at Magress level 3. I'm just telling you right now, I don't end up completing it. I just kind of stopped after 8 or 9 times because I've had other stuff to do. I'll fill you guys in on the next video or something. Maybe I'll just make an update video. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a really tough challenge. I still haven't completed it. Maybe I'll go back to this sometime later when I have, I don't know, maybe more time or better spheres. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. See ya.